guys, and welcome back to Sam Mingo's YouTube channel, the best place for all things money and medicine. In today's video, we're going to talk all about networking. First off, networking is not about making people like you. It's about making people trust you. Trust outweighs all other human emotions when it comes to networking. If you can be seen as trustworthy, you become worthy of someone's time. So networking really is just I scratch your back, you scratch my back kind of arrangement. But sometimes we aren't successful in networking because we are intimidated by the idea that we might not have equal knowledge to share or the ability to offer valuable content or resources to the other person. But I'm here to tell you to throw that out of your mind because you can network with pretty much anybody, no matter what you have to offer. If you've been following my expat journey here in Phuket, you know that I have a very close circle of friends since moving here about 9 months ago. And my friends are mostly financially independent entrepreneurs from all over the world. And I met most of them through networking. So my husband and I really wanted to learn more about crypto. So we started going to crypto meetups every single month. And through these meetups, we connected with some very smart crypto enthusiasts who really opened up our eyes to the crypto world. And they introduced us to their network of friends. And through their network of friends, we built a much larger network of entrepreneurs and investor friends from all over the world in just 6 months. So this brings me up to my first tip. The first tip is the most simple of all. Offer free advice or life lessons to everyone you meet. And every conversation, when something comes up that you're an expert in, offer your experiences or any kind of advice you may have. To really ensure this happens, you have to ask people the right questions. So ask them, what are your biggest pain points in XYZ? And offer a solution based on your knowledge. I'll give you an example. I work in medicine, I'm a PA. Everybody has medical problems. So if I hear something that can tie to medicine, I offer medical insights right away. No, I don't give out a diagnosis or a treatment plan. I just give a little bit of advice, just enough to hold them over until their appointment with the primary care. Here's an example. My friend had a massive bug bite on his leg. It was red, it was swollen, it was very ugly. But it was not infectious, it was more inflammatory. I said, hey, I'm not too worried. It looks like a very mild bug bite. And the reason it's so swollen is because you're walking too much. So I gave him a list of medication to help reduce the inflammation and to reduce the pain. I told him about the signs and the symptoms to watch out for that would really warrant a visit to the hospital. And I gave a list of possible antibiotics they may prescribe if something was truly infectious. A week later, his rash resolved and he felt a lot better. In fact, he messaged me and said, hey, thank you so much for the consult. I felt great. I didn't need any medical intervention. Everything is fine. And because of this interaction, we developed a sense of trust between one another. And this friend of mine with a rash happens to be a very successful businessman. So I know for a fact that if I had business questions, I need help within my business, he would help me because I offered him free consult, free advice. Now, I don't need any business advice right now, but maybe 2, 5, 10 years down the line, I might need it. And this is the beauty of networking. You don't think short term, you think long term. How can you build this relationship for future use? Here's another example from my experience, and this one has nothing to do with my medical career. When I hear people talk about their struggles with their business, I always ask them, so how are you using social media to grow your business? What are you doing to monetize your business with social media? And then they're like, well, I'm not doing anything social media. And I said, why? And then I give my 20-minute pitch about social media and why they should use social media to monetize their business. I give them everything that I've learned about Instagram, YouTube, and the impact that I know social media marketing has on a business. So by offering valuable insight for free, now they're engaged in that conversation and now they're asking me for my number. They want to connect with me. So what I'm trying to say here is that you need to provide free, valuable content. That's the best tool for networking. Because remember, in life, you have to give more than you take. The next tip for the day is to cut the small talk and go straight into deep, ugly, meaningful conversation. We all know that TikTok has made everybody's attention span pretty much non-existent. That means you have less than 30 seconds to come off as interesting before somebody decides to move on and network with somebody else. So when you get the opportunity to talk to someone you really want to connect with, don't waste your time on pleasantry. Jump in and ask the hard questions. And you do this by asking questions like this. Sam, I'm fascinated by your story. How did you make your first million? Or, what is the biggest obstacle you faced in this journey? Because conversations about the weather, your kids' poor sleeping habits, or the latest fashion trends, they're all neutral topics. Neutral topics are inclusive, so they really avoids offending everybody. It makes everybody happy. But these conversations are not productive conversations. So don't go to these events and waste your time chatting about these useless and meaningless topics. On the other hand, when you talk about politics, economy, money, or business strategy, things tend to get a little bit heated. But these conversations are more valuable because they allow you to take a stand. People will judge you whether you stand for this or that, so let it be known to the world where you stand on these topics. The people who agree with you will make an effort to befriend you, and the ones that do not agree with you will do one of two things. They'll either have a polite but reasonable debate with you, or two, they will cut you off completely and call you really mean names. You're better off finding out early on who is going to cut you off and who's really going to develop and nurture that relationship with you. This doesn't mean that you only network with like-minded individuals. You are supposed to build a relationship with people from all walks of life with different life experiences. So you're just better off figuring out early on in the early stages who you should network with and who have similar values as you. And these people are the ones that can help you really grow and elevate to the next level. And at this point in the video, we'll learn 2 of the 3 tips about effective networking. And if you're interested in seeing the behind the scenes of what it's really like to go to these events, watch these vlogs. I did a vlog here about the crypto conference I attend here in Thailand. And this one here, I actually flew back to the US to attend the APA conference, a conference for PAs, and the Grow with Video Live conference, which is a conference for content creators. And I love going to these conferences because it really helps me grow as a content creator professionally and personally. So check this out. All right, and for my last and best tip on how to network with wealthy people. If you want to close a deal with somebody that you've been chatting for the last 30 minutes, end the conversation with this. Would you be opposed to exchanging contacts to connect more on this later on? The reason this works is because you're not saying, hey, can I have your number? Asking for the number may imply that you want something from them. It means that it makes them almost scared they're gonna bother them and send a bunch of texts and emails and be really super annoying. Now, if you rephrase the question and say, would you be opposed to ... you're asking if they're gonna be against the idea of connecting again. And most of the time, people aren't against anything if it doesn't require a big time commitment or a big money commitment. And here's a bonus tip. Getting people to say no is a superpower. Because when someone says no, they are empowered because they're able to assert themselves. No, you cannot cut the line. No, I will not go out with you. No, no, no. But in this strange setting, when you say, are you opposed to talking about this again sometime? They'll say, well, no, I'm not opposed to that. They feel safer, less on the spot. So they're empowered by that no. So ultimately, the answer to your question is yes. Yeah, sure, you can have my number because I'm not opposed to anything. And this closing statement is generally how I connect with other wealthy individuals. Because once I have their contact information, I store it. I don't bother them with a bunch of questions. I don't send them emails or texts. Instead, I use their number to develop a relationship. I may send them a funny meme here or there if I think of something that I think they will find funny. And sometimes I won't even talk to them for 6 months or a year until something comes up and their face pops up into my head. So the key here is really to develop that relationship closely, but only use those contacts when needed. So that's it, guys. Those are my 3 quick tips on networking effectively with wealthy people. I advise you to try it out. Try them at high quality networking events like crypto meetups, real estate meetups, professional organization conferences, or even your kid's birthday party. That's where I network too. Network, network, network all the time. So sign yourself up for these conferences and get out there and do it. So for more networking, negotiating, and pitching your ideas, drop a comment below and let me know what you want to hear. And don't forget to like and subscribe to get more content like this. Thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.